Hi guys, welcome to the next part of Node Express MongoDB Bootcamp 2023. In this part, we are going to be creating folder structure for these routes that we have created, also the functions. There is MVC pattern being followed. MVC means model view controller, and we need to divide our code in the in MVC pattern, so it becomes easy to understand, it becomes easy to maintain, and easy to debug if any error occurs. So first of all, I'm going to create couple of folders in my main folder. So first one is going to be controllers. The second one is going to be routers, okay, or routes. So inside the controller, I'm going to create a new file and I'm going to name it nodes controller.js. Since we have users routes as well, the dummy routes, then we can have the users controller.js. And just like the controllers, we need to have the routes file as well. So we can say that the nodes routes.js and the users routes.js. Okay, so first of all, inside the controller, every logic that we make, you can see over here that this is actually the route, but it is not the logic that if this route gets triggered, this function is going to get called, and the logic is written inside this function. So the all the functions that is handling the logic is called the controllers. So first of all, we have this delete node. I'm going to copy all these functions, uh, get nodes, cut it, and I'm going to paste it in the nodes controller. Okay, and inside it, there are few packages that are being used, just like the fs package, or the I think the uuid package is being used for creating node, like over here. And let's import these two packages. So first of all, let's go over here and I'm going to copy these two. I don't think these are being used anymore in this file, so I'm just going to cut these two lines. So I'm going to paste it, and now I need to export these functions so that I can use these controller functions wherever these are being used. So these are being used in the routes. So I can do it in two ways. I can export it within the in the form of object, but I can directly export it as well. So let's say that exports dot, right? So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste over here for the create node, this, and lastly for the delete node. So that's pretty much it for this file that we need to do. And now I need to go to the users controller and I can copy all these functions from here, instead cut these out. Okay, and I'm going to paste over here. So currently I can simply write exports dot. Okay, so copy, paste, paste. All right, so we have created two controllers, one for the nodes and other for the users. Users controller does not require anything as of now, so I don't need to import anything because I have not built any logic inside it. Now let's add these lines inside our routes. So I'm going to keep these app use because this is the middleware. I don't want to export it from other files. Instead, keep it in this file. So I'm going to copy it and I'm going to open up the nodes routes. Okay. So here I can paste it, and I'm going to remove this line, and it is using Express, so I can import Express. So const Express equals to require Express. Okay, so one other thing we need to do is these are the routes for the nodes, and these are the functions being used. So currently these are undefined in this file. So we need to import these functions from our controller that we have created. So in order to do it, we can add it from require, and I need to go one step outside controllers and then the nodes controller. Okay, and inside it I can get all these functions. So get nodes, create node, get node by id, update node, and the delete node. Okay, so for now we have configured our routes file, and then this routes file, since this routes file is using this nodes router, and we need to remove it from here, and you can see that it is using the nodes router. Okay, if we remove it, where it will find this nodes router? So we need to import this nodes router from this routes file, and for that first we need to export it from here. So module.exports equals to the nodes router. Okay, and let's come over here, and inside it I'm going to require it. So first of all, let's remove this middleware one. I don't need it for now. And let's keep it over here. We need Morgan here. And let's import the nodes router now. So over here, I'm going to use instead where I'm using the middleware here. So I'm going to use const nodes router equals to require, and I'm gonna go inside the routes and the nodes router, and just like this I can import the users router as well. So require routes and the users routes. Okay, so just like this I can copy this thing and go inside the users routes over here, and I'm going to remove this thing, and it's using the express. So let's bring in the express, and also I need to import all these functions which is being used, which is coming from this controller. Okay, so I can write const equals to require controller users controller, and here I can get all users, create user, get user, update user, and the delete user. Okay, and just like the nodes routes, we can export it module dot exports equals to users routes. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this file. I'm going to close these two files for now. So users routes, users controller, nodes controller, and let's come over here. I'm going to remove it. Okay, so for now I think that's pretty much it for this file. And first of all, I want to create another file which is the server.js file, but let's test if it keeps on working as before or not. So let's go inside that particular folder, and which is this folder structure express, and now I can run node index.js. So our server is running on port 4000, and let's go to the Postman and verify all the APIs whether those are working fine or not. So first of all, this is being called, and this is our route. These are the middlewares, and these are also the middleware. So let's go into the Postman. Okay, so this is the Postman, and this is our API slash nodes. So here you can see API slash nodes. It's calling this nodes router. Let's go to the nodes router, and here it's going to set the routes for these functions. On the home route, we can have the get and the post request methods, and on the get we will be calling this get nodes function, and which is coming from this. Okay, so let's send, and it's showing no such file or directory. Tutorial 16 controllers nodes.json. All right, there is one more thing that we need to do. Let's go to the nodes, and you can see that we have added this path for fetching the files from the nodes.json, and it is currently not uh, actually finding out whether this nodes file existing or not. So we need to change its path. So first of all, changing its path, it needs to be, we need to add dot slash. Let's save it, and let's see if it works or not. Let's go send, and I think we need to add a forward slash here as well. We have this file directly over here nodes, and we're gonna go outside one step. All right, so let's rerun the server again, send, and yeah, actually now let's name it notes, and then the notes. Okay, and let's go, let's send, and we need to rerun the server, then it will be updated. But for now our API is working, and just like this we need to update this everywhere, this here as well, and here, and also while writing this in the notes.json file. So notes here and here as well. So I think we are done with everything. I'm going to rerun the server, and it's running on 4000. Let's send, and now you can see that all the nodes are being fetched, and let's test other nodes as well. So it's 1 2 3, we are going to fetch the one node. Yeah, it's being fetched. Let's try to post a new node, and we are going to set its priority to 7, and we are going to call the express is awesome. Okay, so let's save it, run, and yeah, so here you can see that the new node have been added with the same key value pairs that we have set over here, and it's using UUID to generate the new ID. And let's test the update node, and it's for this thing, and I'm going to change it back to the CSS 456, which is the ID of our node. So yeah, so you can see that its description have been updated for this particular ID. And the last one is the delete node. So let's try to delete one node from here. So first of all, I'm going to create a further nodes. So let's say that how many nodes are being created. So now you can see that the same priority nodes, but the different IDs have been generated. The title and description are same, which does not happen usually when we'll be creating our models using Mongoose. We will be set the title, name, or whatever a unique params. Okay, so I'm going to remove this express, and I'm going to set its ID, come here, and I'm going to set it over here. So send it, now that particular node have been deleted. So all of our APIs are working fine, and this is how we set our MVC model using Express. And this we will keep on working with this particular folder structure because it's quite convenient, it's standard, it's known to the community of programmers who build the APIs. There are other frameworks of Express like the loopback and the nest. They also follow the MVC pattern. One last thing for this video that I want to do, that index.js file uh, contains it is actually running the server. So I want to create a new file, and I'm going to name this file server.js, and that will be responsible for running the server. So let's create a new file. So server.js, and inside it, I'm going to copy this line, paste it, and now I need to actually, when I'll be running the node server, I'll run this file node space server.js rather than index.js file. But how will I trigger all these files? What I can do is I can remove it, and I can export this app module. So module.exports equals to the app. Okay. And now when this app will be imported in any other file currently in the server.js file, all of these lines will be automatically triggered. So server, let's import it over here. So I'm going to write const app and then the require index. Okay. So that's it. Now let's try to run the node server.js file. So now you can see that the server is running on port 4000, and let's try to run the APIs whether those working fine or not. So let's click on get nodes. Yeah, all the nodes are working. Get one node, it's working. Update node, it's working. So now we have separated out the logic of adding the middlewares and the different file for running the server. Okay, later on we will know that what is the benefit of it when we will try to add more stuff over here using the different environment variables to run on different ports and configure it accordingly. All right guys, so this was a bit longer video. I hope you have understood how you can structure, set the folder structure, follow the MVC design pattern to create controllers, routes, and create a separate server file. So in the next video we will be talking about params middlewares, that what are the benefit of that and how we can utilize that in our project. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. See you in the next video.